What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Thriller here, and we are here for another NFE JDL speed tour. Decided to go ahead and do one more for you guys here, since we have the time. And I was actually really impressed with myself with this run, as I kind of had like that same mindset as I did during the Paldea Dex one. So I felt like this would be really fun. Plus, a lot of people seem to enjoy the NFE speed tour that I did. We have almost 30 views on that video that I just was updated like a couple days ago. So felt like, you know what, let's do one more. So you guys seem to enjoy it. So be excited for that. So if you guys are excited for this video, leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the Fruit Crew today because you'll be thrilling with the King of the Crew. And with that being said, let's break down this map. Let's break down our tour. So we had the fourth pick. So originally, I pinged when blah, 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 blah. I had pinged. No, I had added my reaction to doing the speed tour for NFE today. But then John wanted to do a different ping for that, and I didn't click the ping in time. And I was like, oh, well, all right. And then Neji, who unfortunately had prior things needed to come up for him, so unfortunately he had to step down. And John personally reached out to me. Personally reached me and asked, like, I know you originally want a spot and you didn't go with this one, but would you like to play? And I said yes. And I ended up getting the fourth pick out of 12 coaches, which honestly was really good. It was finally good to stop getting middle picks, so I was really excited. So for my first Pokemon, I grabbed Magneton. Now Magneton, if you guys didn't see how Chef, if you don't check out John's channel, you'll never know watching the games. But Chef, I'm only Chef. Will also leave a link down in the description below because he put on a clinic with Magneton. Definitely go subscribe to Chef. He's on his way to 100 subs. Let's get him to 100 before the end of the year. But Magneton, I was really impressed with how it was. It was a Pokemon I also was really tempted to grab, but I think every time I wanted to try it, it got sniped from me. Now, I was going to think about taking Magneton last time we did NFE, and I almost did, but I wanted Electabuzz because Electabuzz I thought was pretty cool. And plus, I had Magmar again, so I thought Magmar plus Electabuzz was a lot of fun. But went with Magneton this time after seeing how well Chef used it, and this Pokemon with Electric Steel, really good. What the probably art is arguably the best Steel type in this swap format and the best Electric type, as the most strongest and is definitely a good tanky hitter. And I felt it was a really good pickup. Next up was Monferno. I loved Monferno. I love Infernape. And after seeing the first work of it in the speed tour, I really wanted to try it. I think with having Iron Fist, good speed tier, good breaking, good setup potential, I felt it was a really good, solid Pokemon to grab, and I felt it was a really nice one to try. Up next was a Mon that I wanted to Terra last time, but unfortunately got sniped from me. And that was Dracoloak. I really wanted to try Terra Dracoloak after that, thinking about it, because like Terra Dracula wasn't going to be as good or something like that. But I felt like this was such a good Pokemon, man. I felt like this was a good pickup here. And as we're going to see throughout some of these games, I'm going to have a hard time deciding who gets the thumbnail for this video. Just so you guys know that head things, because Terra Dracula put in some work in this season. So just to give you a little support. But I really thought this was a really good Terra Captain. One of the best Terra allowed Pokemon. It might be Terra banned now after the performance I did with it, but hopefully it's not because I would love to use it again. Up next was Duat. I saw Duat put in some great numbers in the last tournament that we were doing for NFE, and this one was really, really good. So I figured, you know what, let's pick it up. Really wanted to try Duat. Duat is a really good middle evolution mon in this type of format. It's probably one of the stronger waters, but it's not as a good water, but it's definitely a strong. Up next, I decided to grab Limit. No one grabbed Limit, I think, in the last two speed tours we did with this. And I decided to try it. It's a good special attacker. It gives me spikes, gives me rocks, gives me toxic spikes. It gives me some options to be offensive, defensive. I felt overall it was just a really good solid pick. And plus it was decently good poison type for what options you really want. Up next, I grabbed Dolov. Dolov I felt like was a really good budget grass type with Eviolite because it is really fat in its bulk. It still keeps the coverage moves that it needs. I think the only coverage move it doesn't have is Dazzling Gleam. Yes. Dazzling Gleam is not the only one it gets, but it keeps Earth Power, which is the main thing, which I think matters more. And I only have Terra Blast as my special move, which is a little unfortunate, but we can make that work. But this is overall just a really good Pokemon. I felt it was really good value at, I believe it was like 8 or 7 points or something like that. And I think it was just a really good grass type to really kind of, and also getting me a normal type to stop the ghost types, potentially. Up next, we grab the homie Graveler. I actually wanted this guy in the last speed tour I wanted. If I actually had this guy in my last speed tour, I think I actually would have won that game. Um, but Anyways, Graveler was really good. He gives us Rock Head, which is really good for the recoil options that could be there. Starting for weakness cost, we got Cussed Out. Excuse me, Cussed Out Berries, which I think is really nice. Overall, this is a really good Pokemon for what it can offer towards a team. There's also a decent enough Violet user, eventually. So I think it's just a really good Pokemon. I thought it was really good value. Now we have Zora. Now you guys saw us use Hisui Zora last time. We're using regular Zora this time. And it still offered me exactly the same thing I wanted to do, was kind of the illusion stract, but I also wanted a dark type so I can kind of mess with people's minds because dark type at least gives me something that can stop psychic switch-ins, which I didn't really have an answer besides Magneton. And I also felt it was a really good Pokemon just to pay bluffs, and illusion is just a really cool ability. I think it's really good off from there. Up next, I actually went with a really wild pick here, and I went with Hatchram. Now, I went with Hatchram just because of the fact that, I don't know, there was something about it being a really good bulky psychic type in this format that I thought, like, there's not a lot of steals, there's not a lot of darks that really stop psychic types, and I felt the value of Hatchram provided, I believe, like 7 points. It was either it was either 6 or 7 points. I thought it was a really good value in the tier. So I went with that. And last but not least, we went with Hisui and Growlithe again. I couldn't say no to this guy. I had 2 points. I wanted the best 2 pointer there. And, I didn't have a fire type, so It was my third rock type, but I didn't care. But with that being said, let's go ahead and break it down to these matches here for you guys. All right, game number one is going to be against Bruce. Bruce is a really good player. Is the biggest defender of Rowlet not being 6 points. So he will always draft Rowlet until he proves why is a broken NFE Pokemon in this format, even though it's a little tough Pokemon, but you know what I mean. He brought pretty much exactly what we expected. I think there was like one Pokemon I was a little surprised he did not bring, but we are bringing a Rindoberry. I believe it's Rindo. Yes, Rindoberry Encore Grass Knot, I believe. I think it was either Grass Knot or Protect, one of the two, something like that. And then Surf and Ice Beam. We brought a Terra, Dragon, Dracula, because there was no dragon switching at all on Bruce's team. We have Magneton with, I believe, Shukaberry. Yeah, I think it was Shukaberry. We have Hatchram, which was Eviolite. We have Limit, which was Meteor Beam. And then we have a Swords Dance, Life Orb, Infernape, Inferno here. So go ahead and get into the matchup here. I actually lead with my limit. As he actually leads with the Pupitar, which I was really surprised to see Pupitar lead. So I kind of decided just to sack off my Violet here. I almost rock polished in front of this guy's face. I almost did it, and that would be really funny. But yeah, but the Pupitar, we still able to do damage here. I go ahead and go for the Mach Punch here, and part of me is not really wishing it because I think I was jolly for this matchup. I could be wrong. He had Seadra, that's what it was. He had Seadra, he didn't bring Seadra. I think I was what had him in? I don't really remember off the top of my head. I literally just did this tournament too, by the way. So the fact that my memory is that bad, oh dear. But I think I was adamant because I outspeeded everything I really needed to outspeed. If I was jolly, I would have been. I think I would have been. If I was adamant, there was probably a roll to potentially KO there. But I had to go for the Mach Punch here. I think now, you're gonna look at this here. I do make the misplay of going to my Infernape when I should have just went into my Hatchram. And you're about to see that I'm taking this Earthquake pretty damn easily, and I should have made that prediction there. But I'm gonna go ahead and go for a Psychic, as there's no really good switch in besides the Luxio. In comes the Gratel, as I am going to go for another Psychic, doing over 50% to it, which I don't have much special attack investment, but the fact that it did so much damage was insane. And now I go into my Dracloak, and what I do is a Terra Dragon. He's going to crunch me, and that is going to hurt me. I click Terra Blast to pick up the KO here, and now he's going to go into the Prufflet. I'm clicking Agility. I should live anyone hit he wants to do here, but he decides to go for the Agility. I go for the Dragon Dance, and with that, I get to spam Dragon move now. So there's our second KO with and there's our third. I had the Lumberry, which I'm a little upset that the Lumberry worked at this point in time because this was meant to really stop him. Because I saw him use Thunderwave a lot with Slowpoke last time. So unfortunately, we did not get that off. So he's going to go for the Psychic, brings us down here. We need us to not get ourselves in confusion here. And we luckily don't knock out the Slowpoke. And now, as long as I don't hit myself, I can OHKO this Pig Knight. But unfortunately, I do hit myself, so Dracula is not going to get 5 kills here. But I go to do what? I click Encore because if he's I'm faster, I don't want to risk him doing anything to me. Now we're going to see here that the Surf did end up killing, which again, Pokemon that were first in tournament did not have a Violite. Pignite was one of those Pokemon that was above the tier that could not use a Violite. And also, if anyone's wondering, since I knew Surf, since Surf looks like it killed, if I actually did the count, I would have done that and killed it. But at the same time, I'd rather be making the safe play and then clicking Encore to make sure it wasn't going to do anything, and then go from there. Because I don't think I had a ton of speed in my Duat here. But we're going to pick up the KO there, and we are going to win the quarterfinals. We actually had a round one bye, so we made it to quarterfinals, and now we're heading to semifinals. All right, here we're here with semifinals, taking on a Caps Lock who has a really cool team. Really hoping that we can pull off another win and make the finals. Now, if you guys did not check our recent speed tour that we did for Paldea Dex, I did make the finals of that one, and I've walked away with the championship of that tour. So in a way, I'm kind of defending the tour championship. So in a different format. So I'm trying to go for the back to back. I'm really hoping we can get the back to back, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But we're taking on Caps here, and he has a really good team. He had Knucklestack, Girder, and Duosion. Girder Duosion is such a scary threat because Trick Room with those two is just annoying. He had Terra Apom, which I was so surprised he did not bring Terra Apom versus me. I had like so many mons with Protect. I think I was like Source Dance, Mach Punch. Like this was not Protect. This was Protect. This was Protect. This was Protect. I think this was Protect. I think. And this was Protect. I had like 5 mons with Protect because I feared Apom and he didn't bring it. So I'm gonna go ahead and lead off with my Zora here in front of this thing. I'm actually gonna make a switch out here because I do not want to risk the potential U-turn of my Sash being broken because I'm sashing my Zora here. Because I'm going for a Swords Dance here on this Knuckle stack. I'm gonna go for the Drain Punch here as this Trap Edge is gonna go down. Now, in comes Florigato here. I decided to not go for the Mach Punch, but in hindsight, I should have went for that, or I should have at least counted it, because I was Punching Glove, which doesn't double the boost of Iron Fist. I understand that, by the way. Uh, it does a small percent increase, but it doesn't like double the usage of Iron Fist and stuff like that. So, but right here, I should have counted on how much Mach Punch would have done, and if I would have valued even a Mach Punch tip. Also, Acrobatics was just a really good prep from General. That was a really good prep on their end. I don't know, caps lock. I go into my Triclops here. I'm going to actually make the double out here into my Draclo, which I believe was my Zora here. As I am, yep, I'm going for the Nasty Plot. I'm going to go for a Dark Pulse and hopefully get a flinch, and I don't. Now, here I'm in a tough situation, right? Because he's shown to have Protect. So I'm either thinking of clicking Dark Pulse here again, KOing this thing, going for a Nasty Plot, predicting him to want to click Protect here, or going for the extrasensory to Oko this Girder, and then just spam Dark Titan move, even though I'm going to pretty much get Oko by something. So I had a lot of choices on this turn. I had 3 choices to go with. I end up making probably the wrong choice of the 3 here, as I actually am going to go for the Nasty Plot here. Now, this now comes down to a 50-50 turn. So he has to make the decision on this. He either clicks Mach Punch here, which he has to click Mach Punch to knock me out, unless he's like Scarf Girder for some reason, which that would be the most crazy set I've ever seen in my entire life. Or he clicks Knockoff here, knowing that my Psychic types or my Ghost type can come in here on the Fighting type move. And then he can either make a double out on that, or he could sack something off. I don't know. I decided to stay in, click Extrasensory. He makes the swap, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of the Knuckle stack here, which was kind of good because Knuckle stack was actually low-key annoying. But the Florigato comes in, is a click U-turn, and is going to go to pick up a kill there. And now we go into my Dracloak here. We are going to go ahead and set up another DD as he's going to go for the knockoff here. Very fair play here. Probably didn't expect me to go guarantee for it, but I'm going to go for a second Dragon Dance here. He's just going for bulk up, which actually showed me to get a little greedy there. But I'm going to click Terra Blast, and it's still enough to KO the Girder, which means he was not fully fizzed out. He was probably just at least the most max HP. Now, I go for Phantom Force, as he is going to go for the thing here. I'm going to Oko this Florigato. And I'm going to say this right now, I do spam Phantom Force for the rest of the battle. And I want anyone to not think I was trying to like BM or be rude to Caps here. I played to Phantom Force primarily for the reason that I know that this that this evolution line gets yawn, and I did not want to put myself in the situation where I got yawn and was forced to switch out. Now, I am going to find out on this turn that Caps was not a Violite. Or if he was a Violite, he was just max HP at most, and it was a roll. So, in comes this. I'm clicking Phantom Force. Now, I only clicked Phantom Force just because of the fact that it was Stab, and I wanted to go for it. So that was the only reason I did that. So with that, Dracloak has now picked off 8 KOs and has only died once. This Mon is freaking busted, dude. This Mon is easily busted. I think this is definitely something that might have to be Terra banned. It might have to be Terra banned, in my opinion. This is just a good Pokemon, man. It's a good Pokemon. But we're moving on to the finals. Can we make the back-to-back? Can we do it? Let's find out right now. All right, we're here. We're finals, ladies and gentlemen. And we're taking on Kuma, who I don't think I've ever faced, so I'm really excited to face him. He has a really good team here. Um, he's got my boy Magmar Gaming there. He had a lot of scary stuff here. He pretty much brought about everything I think I expected him to bring for the most part, which was really good. He is going to be Terra. I didn't even talk about the Terra types. Oh my god. Well, my last one, he had Terra Apom and Terra Drifloon. He didn't bring either one of those. Apom again, like I said, so he has Terra Dartrix, which I think Terra Dartrix might be a slept on Terra Captain because getting rid of that massive Ice Breast flying weakness of sorts and then having like the weakness. Now, I do believe it if it Terras, it cannot hold the Violate still. So that is something to note there. But we are rocking out with Agility, Life Orb, Suiting Growlithe. We're rocking out with a mixed defensive. I think primarily a little bit more physically defensive Hatchrin. We are Sturdy, Weakness Policy, Graveler. Graveler's making his debut. We unfortunately never got to use Dollop, which I'm so sad, man. I really wanted Dollop to pop off in this one. We have got a Fire Magnezone set. Magneton set. We are sub Charge Beam, Flash Cannon, Tri Attack. Tri Attack to basically take on everything else that we can hit for strong damage. Flash Cannon for stab, and then Charge Beam to I don't know if it's a Charge Beam to get boost behind us up. And we are Magnet Pull. We are here to specifically designed to trap the Sliggoo since it cannot wholly violate, and we are to set up on the Sliggoo and pretty much just be able to win the game from that point if we position it correctly. We're Terra Fighting, Terra Blast, and I believe Ghost plus Dragon Move because that pretty much just destroys the entirety of Kuma's team. When we are Swords Dance, I believe Lumberry, Monferno here. I decided to lead off with my Monferno here. As the Graveler is the lead of choice, which I figured we would do here. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch here. Is he's going to be Weakness Policy and go for his KO here. I'm a little surprised he didn't try to go for the Rock Polish, but in hindsight, I did have the Mach Punch, so you're going to risk it. I go to my Graveler. I'm going to set up my Rock Polish, and we had the great minds think alike. Now, I won't lie to you guys. In hindsight here, I should have just clicked Earthquake. There was no reason for me to ever click Rock Polish here. Now, I think clicking that was a little hasty by me. I understand. At the very most, Graveler would have probably gotten at least one more KO potentially, depending on what it was coming in, and then Revenge. So I could have maybe snagged one more chill with Graveler at the very most here, but that's sort of fine. But in comes the past one, he's gonna pick me off because he's gonna click the funny button. But now I'm going to Dracula here. Now I was debating on clicking Terra Blast Fight here. He's actually going for the Roar, which brings out my Hatchrim, which is perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and go for I believe no, I went for Psychic first. And this definitely showed that it was max HP Palace one. And I think I can just try to click Trick Room. I click Calm Mind. The Sliggoo is actually slower than me, which really sad because I am quiet nature, so he has to be like relaxed or sassy. I go into my popper, he goes for Iron Head, and he actually does way more damage than I thought he was going to do. But now we go Magneton, and just want to tell everyone in this, Sliggoo does learn Mud Shot. So if he has Mud Shot, I'm kind of boned here because this makes my set absolutely useless, and I think I just threw the game. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But we go Magneton, I'm clicking sub, and he doesn't have Mud Shot. So we are going to go ahead and just spam Charge Beam. We're going to go ahead and skip this kind of ahead here. I get a little salty right here. Obviously, Kuma told me that he didn't look at that as me being salty. With being annoyed by the fact that I clicked this damn move how many times and then just got one boost off of it. But as you know, what's funny? As soon as I complained about the fact I didn't get the boost, watch this. Watch what happens right here. I get the boost. And then I start getting my boost, and I get to the point where I'm +4. I get a sub up. I click Charge Beam. It's enough to KO the Sliggoo here. And now I pretty much guarantee a KO here. In comes the Dartrix, which I am invested to be faster. I click Flash Cannon, knock out Dartrix. He goes into Magmar now. No, he goes into Pile Swine. I go and KO the Pile Swine. And now we go into the Magmar. Magmar is going to knock out my sub. I'm going for Tri Attack. I think Tri Attack was potentially a roll on the Magmar, but I think the roll was heavily in my favor. And then Gloom comes in. If this Gloom is physically defensive, it will not live. And it's not. And we are going to pick up the win. And we are going to go back to back Speed Tour Championship and Magneton. Our first pick finally putting the damn work in with 5 KOs this game. Again, I think I'm going to give the thumbnail to Dracula. Dracula put in immense work. 8 kills in in like 3 games. That is insanely impressive. You know what? That was for my homie Q, the Costa Rican. Love you, dude. But that was really good. I think I played that game really well. I think I could have played it a lot better. I think I played it a little sloppy, especially around that Pile Swine. Pile Swine's a threat, guys. If you're not making sure you're scarce from a Pile Swine, man, he's gonna mess you up. But yeah, but that was a really good, another good speed tour. I played really, really well. And I do apologize to everyone that I was taking a little longer than 10 minutes. I was trying my best to be getting under 10 minutes. I really was. But I feel like I feel like 10 to 15 is like a sweet spot, and I do think I get it done within less than 15, if not just around 15. But I will try my best to make sure I can get this under 10. It's a little hard though, especially when this matchup, I actually struggle to really pick which six I really wanted. I think I had my five essentially figured out, but then my six, I had no idea where I went with, and I just went with Growlithe at the last second. Low key, if I went with Gilwad, I actually would have been a little bit more fine, but I think going with the Growlithe was still a safe bet. But especially at the end game right there, where Growlithe would have won versus the Gloom. But yeah, that was a good tournament. I went in to go back to back, running the gauntlet, man, which is really insane. I cannot believe I was able to pull off back to back tournament wins like that. That's one of the best performances I've ever shown. So I'm feeling really good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Do expect some more NFEs because we are going to be signing up for the JJDL NFE, and I think there's a good chance that we're going to get pulled in, but we're not going to count our chickens till we hatch. But I do think we have a good shot of being pulled in. And I honestly have just enjoyed this format. This has just been a lot of fun using middle stage Pokemon and then baby Pokemon and making them like some of the best Pokemon in the format. It's honestly a fun format. Like even when I lose and I get knocked out of these tours, I've had fun. I enjoy myself, and it's just an entertaining. So yeah, definitely look forward to that. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and stop talking so my throat can stop dying. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, guys, peace.